Hey guys, I am Trent for Trent Sense, and I am here to give my thoughts on the Oneplus 3. Now, I personally do not have a deep history with the Oneplus brand. What I do recall is back in 2014, they came into the game with the Oneplus One, aka the flagship killer. The first major thing that boggles my mind about the Oneplus 3 is the price. $400. $399.99 gets you a phone that is not only unlocked, but offers 64 gigabytes of internal storage, 6 gigs of RAM, a front-facing home screen with an embedded fingerprint scanner, and a 16 megapixel primary camera, and a feature called dash charging that allows you to charge the battery from 0 to 60 in as little as 30 minutes. When you consider all of the other unlocked flagships that are out there that easily tip the scale at $600 to $700, it's not hard to see what makes this such an attractive choice for other smartphone consumers that are out there. This phone out of the box, I was immediately reminded of 3 different phone models: the LG G4, the Huawei Nexus 6P, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. When you take into account the portability of the phone that feels great to hold in your hand and easy for one-handed usage, and the metallic finish of the phone with the chamfered edges, and the smooth Gorilla Glass with the front-facing home button with the embedded fingerprint scanner, you can't help but feel like the Oneplus 3 is simply a well-thought-out amalgamation of those 3 phones. Now, other design features that caught me off guard in a good way happen to be the way that the Gorilla Glass smoothly spills over into the metallic edges of the Oneplus 3, harkening back to the good old days with the Nokia N9. Another feature is the fact that the front-facing home button is not tactile at all. It is basically a fixed feature on the Gorilla Glass, which is very classy. The third feature is the dedicated switch on the side of the phone to put your phone into silent mode, which is great and reminds me of the iPhone. Now, another feature on top of all of this that I am extremely appreciative of is the Oxygen OS that is on this device. Oxygen basically feels like stock Android, but just with a few extra features thrown in for good measure by OnePlus that does not take away from the user experience at all. The added features in the Oxygen OS are also very handy, especially the double tap to wake feature, which harkens back to the days of the LG G4. Now, there are a few other gestures that can be activated when the screen is dark and in standby. There's one feature that allows you to control music playback by dragging down 2 fingers to pause or start the music, or drawing side arrows in either direction to skip forward or to go back.
Ask for advice, get money twice. I'm from the dirty, but that Chico now. I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on a wedding ring.
Now, another feature to activate the camera from standby mode is to draw a circle. However, I found myself relying more on the double tapping of the power button for the camera. The next feature is drawing a V on the standby screen to turn on the flashlight. If there's anything that OnePlus is known for, it is definitely customization of the OS. Now, I truly appreciated being able to have the option to switch out icons in the notification tray, or being able to switch out on-screen buttons, and also being able to choose between having on-screen buttons versus the 2 capacitive keys on either side of the home key.
Who are you? Her name is Susanna Lisa. She smokes cigarettes. Why is all your shit on her bed? Huh? Why? Why? Where's Jamie? You don't have behind it.
calling the Apple Store, Fair Oaks. Your call may be recorded for quality assurance. I'm an automated system that can handle complete sentences. How can I help you today?
All right, this is a test of the main camera on the Oneplus 3. It's right now recording at 1080p resolution. This camera offers 1080p, 720p, and 4K. Right now it's shooting in auto mode without the flash, and it offers features such as panorama, manual mode, time-lapse, as well as slow motion. All right, this is test footage of the Oneplus 3 front-facing camera for selfies and whatnot. What's interesting about this camera in comparison to the main one is that it offers 1080p and 720p, but not 4K. And as far as the features are concerned, it offers everything but time-lapse. Okay, Google, take me to Radley Chevrolet in Fredericksburg.
Sure, Radley Chevrolet. Use the middle lane to turn right. In 600 feet, turn left.
With 6 gigabytes of RAM, it's no surprise that the Oneplus 3 is a very fast phone when it comes to multitasking. But with that said, I typically don't do any intense multitasking. I basically just, peruse Facebook, listen to Spotify, or browse the Chrome browser, or check my email on the Gmail app, or, the Outlook application for work. And that's basically it. Being able to take a battery from 0 to 60 in a little as half an hour, it's an amazing thing to have. But being that I'm always around chargers, whether I'm in my office or, being that I have a battery pack in my backpack, I never really find myself, coming to the brink of a dead battery. Yeah, the dash charging feature for me was neither here nor there. I was indifferent to it for the most part. Is the Oneplus 3 a phone that I could see myself recommending to the average smartphone buyer? The answer is yes, most definitely. For $400, you are getting a phone that is most comparable to other flagship models that are out there. When you consider that the base model of the Nexus 6P is $500 and only offers 32 gigabytes of internal storage, as well as half the amount of RAM. That's really something to take into account there. I would have to say that for $400, there is no better way to spend your money, especially when you consider all of the expensive options that are out there that are, unlocked, let alone locked to carriers. You're getting 64 gigabytes of internal storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM, with, a fingerprint reader on the front-facing home key, a metallic build that is very sturdy and not cheap. Even though the Oxygen OS is extremely customizable, you will run into the possibility of not having updates like you would on a Nexus device. I would recommend it for anybody else who is not too critical of their smartphone choices, but for me personally, it would have to be a no. I think on top of the initial caveats, the fact that it is smaller than my Nexus 6P and Galaxy Note 5, it kind of turns me off a little teeny bit, because I like to have a phone that feels like it has substance, a phone that feels like it's, I feel it feels like a phone when I hold it in my hand. The Oneplus 3, with its size, it just feels like any old other average device, and it doesn't really stand out in any way, shape, or form. So, as well put together as it is, and as sturdy as it is when I hold it in my hand, it comes off as a bit boring in comparison to my Nexus 6p, but I still did have a great time using it as my daily driver for the week and a half to 2 weeks that I did have it. So OnePlus, I give you kudos for, you know, putting it to all of the other expensive competitors out there, and I wish you all the best. So that ends this review for Trent Sense. You guys stay tuned for more videos coming up in the future. And with that, I will say to all of you, take care and stay safe.